So I had to allow myself to yawn a little before we forge onward. But yeah, I can only imagine what Vana would be thinking about everything that we've seen to this point, since we picked her up as a minion. So, let's move on now and continue with this bonus set of quests by speaking with Fortuno to take on our next quest entitled Misguided Few. Though visibility relieved the Guardians are safe, the hardness in Fortuno's eyes suggests your work is far from over. With the Guardians' halt at ease, the likelihood of others turning has greatly diminished. That said, it is no cause for us to grow complacent. We must needs find a way to overcome the Blasphemy's protective warding. If I understand correctly, a Blasphemy's behavior is oftentimes influenced by the memories and emotions of the originator, in which case it would be prudent to learn more of the man who birthed this monstrosity. How fortuitous then that a number of soldiers from the 3rd Legion are in our custody. For mercy, their tempering was not so severe as to be beyond our ability to heal them. They are presently being treated at Camp Broken Glass. Perhaps the camp's intelligence officer can tell us who among them knows of Nerva's whereabouts. Well, let's head on back and find out. So we'll hook up with the intelligence officer again and see what he has to say. So, sometime later, Fortuno arrives. Wow, I can really hear the wind outside right now. Oh, I see. Perhaps it would be best if you speak with Virgilia, Legatus of the 3rd Legion. Yeah, she pulled through after we beat her up when we first set foot in Garlemald all those months ago. She's still on the mend, but the Convergence aren't like to oppose a brief conversation. If you could wait here a moment. Will she be okay with talking to us, though? So here she is all the way over here. Not exactly the best place to heal someone right out in the wide open. And this is the first time we're seeing her without her helmet on. Eorzea's champion, I presume, and one of her cohorts. Nice to meet you. What business have you with me? A lot, actually. Ilsebard is faced with imminent crisis, and we believe the knowledge you bear may be key in stopping it. So let's explain why that is. Thus do we believe the Blasphemy to be Nerva. His whereabouts in the wake of Garlemald's fall, or lack thereof, give credence to our theory. Lord Nerva? That's what we're thinking. From what we have pieced together thus far, you are one of the last to see him alive. Please, will you not share with us what you know? Very well, though I suspect what meagre knowledge I possess shall avail you not. So, enlighten us. I last spoke with Lord Nerva shortly after warring with the 1st Legion began. As we pan out and look at the city and what's left of it. Cloistered within the lower levels of the Cyniclum Imperialis, he spent the better part of the day listening attentively to the radio. He seemed hopeful, or perhaps desperate for news, that the tide might turn in our favour. The next day I left for the front line. I was there, then I heard a terrible noise, which I assumed came from the Tower of Babel. Then darkness took me and I remember not after that. I was told the radios protected those close to them from the effects of the tower, in which case Lord Nerva would have remained unaffected. But as he has ever been devoted to Garlemald, for glory everlasting, he would say. And so, to watch the empire he loved so dearly crumble, I can think of no one who would be more stricken by the sight. so, it would seem we were right to assume what became of Nerva. I guess so. And it does not surprise me that the beast would choose to make its nest within the Tower of Babel. It stands atop the remains of the Imperial Palace and the throne he revered so highly. But the Empire is no more, and Lord Nerva apparently is no longer the man he once was. He deserves to be laid to rest, together with his dreams of glory. We will fell the beast, you have my word. But what will happen to you now? Well, in the meantime, we have, Fordola is here, as well as Lawrence, Lady Ugiri, and the Elder Seedseer has arrived. Apologies for the interruption. Conne Senna has just arrived and we're ready to depart. 'Tis good to see you, Rika, Master Fortuneau. I have spoken with Lawrence of the ward protecting the Blasphemy, and I am quite confident with some manner of ether-based magic bars our path. So what do we do about it? If I may be so bold, Elder Seedseer, we reached the same conclusion initially, but that simply is not possible. How so? These creatures born in the final days of the void of ether, as such they will be unable to produce such a barrier in a manner to which we are accustomed. Do you suppose it possible they manipulated dynamists to achieve a similar effect? I too thought to dismiss the notion of a barrier fueled by ether. That is, until I set foot here in Golemold. Even now I can sense streams of ether flowing toward the tower. Its purpose was, after all, to harvest reserves of energy sufficient to reach the moon. Even if one was incapable of manipulating ether directly, it stands to reason control of the tower would alleviate such a need. 'Tis merely conjecture, of course. I cannot say for certain until I have examined the currents with mine own eyes. Might I ask you to accompany us? Nope. No one has. Meanwhile, I would join you as well, if I may. My injuries would keep me from being of use in battle, but my knowledge of the land should serve just as well as my blade. Yeah, careful, Vergelia. I will not be opposed to your company, but it is not my decision to make. Whose decision is it? She may go as long as she remains under watch by you and the others. Alright then. Very good. Might I suggest we begin with Reggio Urbanissima? I sense the greatest confluence of ether in that vicinity. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know how long it's going to take for that to happen. Meanwhile, we are still being chased. Or at the very least, followed. Who's out there to undermine us? Well, for those of you wondering, no, it's not Hildebrand's mother, Julian. Okay, Elder Seedseer, what can you tell us? As we arrive at the crossroads here. Trying to get dialed in. As I thought, the ether stream here flows towards the tower, as do all others in this region, no doubt. And it's all going in that direction. Towards the tower, towards the Imperial Palace. This convergence first began when the Telophoroi erected spires in all corners of Eorzea to fuel the Tower of Babel. But once destroyed, this divergence of ether should have ceased. And yet it has not. Alright, whoever you are. If your business with us, quit your skulking about in the shadows and speak your piece. Was you there in the tower, wasn't it? Oh, we're going to chase wherever this is. Yeah, come out or I'll make you. Nero. My, you're sharper than you look. Where's our caretaker, Sid? Or you're trying to steal someone's thunder yet again?
I recognize you. Nero, yes? Why are you following us?
Yeah, why are you following us? Who said I'm following you? Being a native of Golemald, does it not stand to reason I might be inclined to come and see what has become my home?
I know not what you're scheming, but we've no time to entertain your games. Perhaps Master Garland will make better company for you.
Wherever he is. Spare me. I am a man of great ambition and greater intellect, far beyond the scope of anything Garland could hope to achieve. He still keeps his head in the clouds, while I would set my sights to the stars beyond. Which is why you snuck into the tower lot, but like us, you couldn't get past the Blasphemy to reach the transporter. Yes, well, I was very much hoping you would dispense with that little obstacle. And having caught wind of your plans, curiosity compelled me to see if you were truly up to the task.
Do you have reasons to believe we are not? Or perhaps does the great genius Nero mean to dispense with the Blasphemy himself?
Far be it from me to steal your glory having come all this way, but as I am feeling generous, I will tell you what I have learned during my time in the Tower of Babel. With a shit-eating grin on its face. I was able to access its systems, you see, and discovered one of those dreadful spires still appears to be active.
Impossible! They all vanished when Anima was destroyed.
Guess not. Yes, and I've heard of your escapades reclaiming the remains of the Emperor, but obviously you failed to reclaim his entire body. As it stands, a piece remains powering a tower at Fabrica.
Ah, yes, the manufacturing district just north of the erstwhile Imperial Palace.
A rather impressive feat considering these lands are so utterly devoid of ether, barely enough to sustain life, let alone the spire. And yet...
But if one were to use Varus' remains to forcibly create a confluence of sorts...
Precisely, and from what I glean from the tower's systems, his heart serves as its core. Calcing naught with blood, but your precious ether, and now Nerva has the Master Surfer to shore up his defences. How fortuitous he should find so perfect an impetus for his design, stolen from better minds than his own. How very like him. Ugh.
Oh, did I say that out loud? You'll forgive me if I fail to show concern for your ire.
Yeah, loyalty? Or lack thereof?
If what you say is true, these lands could never hope to recover from such a paucity of life energies. We must hurry and find Varus' heart to both spare the land this wanton harvesting and deny the Blasphemy the source of its protection. Are we to presume you have any intention of aiding us?
Of course he is. As I said, I've no intention of stealing your glory, though I fear victory may soon slip through your fingers if you do not act quickly. The Tower of Babel was designed specifically for Anima to serve as its core. Nerva forcing himself upon the system has caused it to grow increasingly unstable. If my calculations are correct, and they always are, it will not be long before his presence triggers a system meltdown. The resulting explosion will destroy whatever tenuous streams of ether breathe life into the lands of Golemald. But more importantly, we will lose our only means of reaching the moon. The heavens forever denied my genius.
How so very unfortunate. In any event, 'twould seem time is of the essence.
That's all well and good, but even if we know which district to search, finding the heart will be like looking for a needle in a bloody haystack.
Actually, I may know where we can start.
Enlighten us there, Vergelia.
It's all rather hazy, but I still have vague recollections of my time serving Anima when I was enthralled. We were commanded to erect some manner of a facility tucked away in a corner of Fabrica. I remember not what it was for, but it was as good as any place to begin our search. Certainly sounds promising, but surely this facility were heavily guarded. Oh, of course. And what's on Lawrence's mind? Then maybe it'd be best to divide our forces, since the four of us shouldn't prove too difficult to sneak inside and find the heart. Okay then. Meanwhile, our main force can stand ready to storm the Tower of Babel when the barrier gives out. Yeah, I think we're down with this idea. Leave it to us. Looks like we're ready to get moving. And so away they go. Yeah, take care of the ladies there, Lawrence. And as for us, this is Levia. What? Very well, we shall return at once. What do we got going down? A number of Guardians have left the camp for the Tower of Babel. Why? What's going on here? They have somehow misunderstood the threat of the tower and convinced themselves that Nero has taken refuge there, still clinging to their ill-placed patriotism, no doubt. They could not have gone far. If we act quickly, perhaps they could be found before they come to harm. Or worse. A wise man would not waste his time on a few wayward refugees. I thought you Charlian scholars knew better. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, sir. Yeah, you're really taking that mantra to heart now, aren't you? If it is all the same to you, Rika, I would join you. Of course. I will return to camp and begin preparations for our assault on the tower. And as for you, Nero, what's going through your mind as the other seat steer heads on off? And I suppose I should go as well. But where? Who knows? And quite frankly, who cares? Fortunate. Though I am unarmed, I promise not to be a burden. That said, it will behove us to avoid any undue confrontations if possible. Now then, let us be off. So, Fortunate is now accompanying you. So we gotta take him through the... would this be considered the main street of the city? Really can't tell, to be honest, but regardless, we'll make our way through. Trying to avoid dealing with any of the automated death machines or anything else that might be around. But we do see a destination to get to if I'm allowed to move forward. And not have unwanted aggro on me. Okay, got to this crossroads. Let's have a look. No trace of them here. Let us keep searching. So we keep going north still. Yeah, how good are you at climbing stuff there, Fortuno? How good are you at climbing rubble? Well, it seems to be doing a good job. But look what's standing in our way. Thankfully, the point of interest is over here. What we have to hope is that the Colossus does not turn into us. And thankfully does not. Help! Someone please! Did you hear that? It came from over there. So Fortuno starts running and we'll go ahead and summon my Namazu. And we'll fly to where we need to be, which is right over here. Where a battle's about to take place. I mean, summon my Chocobo to give a hand here, eventually. Yeah, Fortuno got caught out. Yeah, this is where the Forums and Shardian's non-intervention policies come back to hunt them. Whoa, okay, they're down. And let's help you out. So it's not just one, it's two of them. And we've crossed both of these before. You're the ones who came to speak with us before. That's right. What are you doing out here? We heard Lord Nova had returned and was assembling his forces in the tower, but... yeah, not quite going according to plan, is it? I hate to break this to you, but there's been a bit of a snag.
No! Not Lord Nova too! Then there really is nothing left for us.
Oh jeez, we don't need you turning.
I'll not deny your situation is dire, but you are not without a path forward. I believe you have the passion and conviction needed to rebuild Colmord if you so choose. Or failing that, you could begin life anew in Sharlayan.
Yeah, they just don't want to go.
Rebuild Colmord? No, there is no point in entertaining so lofty a dream, and we would sooner die than suffer life under the rule of another.
Damn.
Yeah, you're just not gonna crack them. You would sooner seek death than sanctuary. Your resolve is admirable, but sorely misplaced.
So what do you come up with now?
If you will not see Golmod rise from the snow and ashes here in Ilsabard, might you consider venturing onto a new frontier?
Where would they go?
A new frontier? And where exactly is this land ripe for exploration? There. On the moon.
Wait, what? Well, we know the Lopers were building the moon for us, but are the Guardians necessarily going to want to go there? And eat on carrots all day?
It is our goal to create a repository of man's knowledge there, free from the jurisdiction of any nation. As I understand, the magitech and technological advancements of Golmod will without peer. Your expertise would be indispensable in the endeavor, should you be willing, of course. You really expect us to go and live on the bloody moon? Is such a thing even possible? Have you a better alternative?
As Nero returns.
Hello. Lest you forget, Golmod did not rise to grandeur from complacency in the present, or rumination in the past. We live for the future. It is in our blood. Life is not without its hardships, of course. Even I have met with the occasional stumbling block. But even should I stumble, my eyes are forever fixed skyward, seeking ever greater heights. The Empire may be lost, but I still possess a great deal of knowledge gained from it, and a desire to seek more. The very notion of exploring the moon is an unprecedented prospect, and that what you would balk at the proposition boggles the mind. Consider this. You have heard that beasts of the final days were born of those hapless souls that have given up on everything, yes? If that is indeed the case, can you tell me why you still stand before me?
Oh, that's a way to look at it.
Because deep down you believe your life is yet worth living. Deep down you long to reach for the unreachable.
And so?
Or perhaps you don't. If you should choose to lay down and die here in the snow, that's none of my concern. Reach for the unreachable. That sounds like something I would have said back at the academy. Alright, we'll go. I suppose it's better than dying here in the snow, as you so gently put it. Or grimly put it, rather. Then we must first dispense with the blasphemy that commands the tower.
Looks like we're down with this idea.
It's hard to believe Lord Nova of all people could be turned into one of those monsters. Please, you must stop him. Put his soul to rest. Thank you, and sorry for causing you all this trouble.
So yeah, they'll head on back for now. And in the meantime,
thank you for the rousing call to action, but I thought you had no interest in meddling in our affairs. It is Nero, after all. Lest you misunderstand, I abhor the idea of my countrymen blindly following nobles they know next to nothing about. And yet... Besides, it would be a most piteous sight for not a single guardian to be among those venturing to the moon. Well, who else am I to prevail upon to learn of new findings up there? You should have said who am I instead of who else am I. Yeah, that was confusing, but in any event, we'll take 1,260 gil, plus our choice of 3 tier 9 materia, 3 piety, or no, these are tier 10 rather. Piety, battle, dance, quick arm, and quick tongue. And though I'll never use any of these, I'll take some quick arm tier 10.